Hey everybody, how are you today? Julie Matias with J. Marie Fitness, and I'm here to bring you an upper body blast. You guys ready to go? Let's go do this. First things first, you want to do a little bit of a warm-up, and that can include some jumping jacks. You can run in place. Biggest thing is doing some arm circles. You could even take a towel and simply do some overhead work just to get those shoulders and arms moving, okay? Again, you could do the jumping jacks, real simple. You want to get all your muscles nice and warm, ready to go. Even though we're doing upper body, it's cool to have the legs warm as well. Some torso rotations work as well. There's a lot of things you can be doing that really warm up the body, and you always want to start with a warm body and never want to work out with muscles really cold. You want those fluids going, especially in your shoulder area. That's really important to have the synovial fluid going. That way your joints are lubricated and they're ready to work. All right, so let's get to it. First things first, we're going to work on the chest and the triceps. So what we're going to do are some giant sets. We're going to do moves back to back with hardly any rest in between, and then you can take a 20-second rest in between your sets. That being said, I would do 10 to 12 reps depending. Now, weight selection. I have several weights actually on the floor. You can't see a lot of them right now. I'll show you in just a minute, but for the chest press, because you're just doing a shorter lever, you can go a little bit heavier. I personally do 20s, but when we start to do flies and other things that really elongate your lever, you want to go a little bit lighter. So the basics of what you choose for your weights are, can you finish the set of say 10 reps with no problem? If it's too heavy, you're really struggling, your form is struggling, that's when you want to jump down to weights. If you can fly through that with no problem, it might be time to up those weights. So you always want to kind of challenge yourself. If you're just beginning, start with lighter and go from there. And each week, you just want to kind of increase. That way you can get a little bit better, get a little bit stronger, okay? So I'm in the seated position to grab my weights. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to grab them, put them on my hips, and I'm going to lie down. We're going to do the chest press first. I'm going to line up and pay no attention to the cat in the background. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to press up. Now I've got the weights just above my chest area, okay? And I'm going to come back down and up. And I'm going to do this 10 times. Now, ideally, I'm going to put this down so I can explain more. You do not want it to go all the way down. You want it just to graze the floor and then push back up, because as soon as you graze the floor, your triceps start to engage. So you really want those chest muscles to push. So you're going to keep doing that for 10 reps. So let's do our next one. The next one we're going to do is going to be the skull crusher. So I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to give you guys a list of stuff to do, but I want to show you each move so you understand it. The skull crusher is pretty simple. I would definitely go a lot lighter for skull crushers. Move my weights out of the way. I have a 10, okay? You can do 8s, you can do 6s, you can do 4s, you can do 2s. Heck, you can just use your arm's away. It's heavy enough. Are you helping me out? Okay, here we go. Let's do some skull crushers. You guys ready? So up, everything's in alignment. My shoulders, wrists, and elbows are in alignment. My elbows are actually turned in. I want to make sure they're turned in to make sure that my triceps engage more so than any other muscle. The idea here is you're going to come down about 90 degrees, push back up. At the same time, while you're down here, I want you to make sure that your core is engaged and your lower back is actually on the floor and it's not lifted up. You want everything. Okay, so I talked about the chest fly. Again, we're doing a longer lever, so we need to go a little bit lighter. So I won't be using my 20s right now. I usually can do my 15s, but I did do an upper body workout before this. So in order to make sure I have correct form, I'm going to go ahead and do 10s. You can do whatever works for you. Again, longer lever, you may want to go a little bit lighter. So here we go again. I'm going to pick up my 10s. I'm going to lay flat. I'm going to make sure that my hips are tucked under, my belly is tight. I'm going to bring the weights up over my chest. And with a fly, you want your elbow slightly bent. So all you're going to do is you're going to fly down and come back up. And you want to feel that squeeze in your chest muscles. Okay? So that is your chest fly. Okay, ready to work that back and biceps? First, we're going to work on the back. The biggest muscles we're going to work on right now are the lat muscles. Those huge X's right in the back, the big back back muscles that really do a lot more work than you think they do. We're gonna do some lat pullovers. With that, heavier weight is usually pretty good to work with. Right now I've got a 20 next to me, so I'm gonna go ahead and use that. I have used 25. Again, depending on what your day is like and where you're at, you're lifting. So with that, I'm gonna show from this side so you guys can see. I'm gonna lift this up onto my hips. I'm going to hold this really tight. Hopefully you can see my grip, okay? Obviously we don't want anything falling on our head. We're going to lay back, okay? Now, I've put my fingers and hands underneath the weight, the top, to hold it tight. It's very important. All you're gonna do is you're gonna go back and bring it to your chest area, all the way back. Now again, I want your core engaged, your belly tight, your back tight to the floor. This is really important. And you're gonna do this for 10, 12 reps. Again, same thing. I can really feel it because I worked my upper body today earlier. So here we go. And then you're just gonna come up, place the weight down. All right, so let's see, what else do I have? We're gonna do some bicep curls. You guys ready for that? Let's get going. All right, so for biceps, right now, I'm gonna just grab some 10s. These are the front muscles right here. They do an awful lot of work. You know, your triceps do a lot of the push, your biceps do a lot of the pull. Both muscles work continuously together. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna grab my 10s, and we're gonna do full bicep curls. There's several different ways of working the biceps. You could do hammer curl, wide curl, as well as full, halves, top and bottom. Today we're gonna do full. So all you're gonna do, now make sure every time you guys are picking weights up, you are bending down with your legs and coming back up. The last thing I want you to do is to hurt yourselves with your back. Now, another safety issue right here is obviously move your weights out of the way. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna stand with my shoulders back, my hips tucked under, my belly tight, my legs are hip width apart. You can also do the kickstand stance as well if that's better for you. Either way is fine. I personally like this. So what you're gonna do is you've got your weights with your palms facing forward, and all you're gonna do, again, shoulders back, everything tight, and you're gonna keep your elbows in close to your body, and you're gonna go all the way up, all the way down. Now, you should not be leaning back or doing anything like that. That means the weight's too heavy and your form is compromised. So make sure everything is nice and tight. You're just going up, coming back down. Nice full reps. Full movements right here, okay? All right, let's get on to the next one. All right, let's get back to working that back again. Let's do some bent over rows. That's gonna really push and engage that upper part of your back. So what I'm gonna do is I've got 20s. Again, you guys can use the weights that are gonna be best for you. I would go slightly heavier because you're gonna be close to the body. If we were doing reverse flies, again, that's a longer lever. I would go a little lighter, but I'm gonna go ahead with my 20s. So bent over row, again, slight bend in your knee. You're gonna hinge, back flat, belly in, everything tight. You're going to keep your elbows and your body, your arms close to your body, and you're just gonna come up and go back down. The idea is you wanna feel a pinch in the back of your upper part of your body like you're holding a pencil. And just keep going till you have 10 to 12 reps. All right, let's work those biceps again. All right, let's do some hammer curls. We're gonna work a different part of the bicep. I'm gonna go ahead with my 10s again, get into my stance. My knees are slightly bent, my shoulders are back. Again, my belly is in, everything is tight, and I'm just gonna keep my elbows nice and close to my body again. And instead of doing a regular, this was our full curl, this is the hammer curl. Like you've got a hammer and you're hammering something down. Okay, you're doing the same thing for 10 to 12 reps. No shaking, no moving. Everything should be tight. All movements should be fluid. Okay, if at any time you feel like you're going forward or back, and you're kind of just trying to get that up there, that's usually an indication that your weight is too much. Go down a weight. This isn't an ego thing, guys. This is about doing things correctly. Correct form means better for your muscles, means no injuries. Keep that in mind. You can't finish up your you can't finish your upper body without doing a little bit of core. That is part of your upper body, keeps everything stable, and it works overtime with everything that you do. So it's really important to keep all of those muscles engaged and strong as well. All right, so for our first one we're gonna do some scissor twists. So this is our little core burnout for our upper body. Okay, so with this, lay back. Again, you want to make sure your lower body or lower back is on the mat. And when you go to do a scissor, we're going to do this with our legs, but we're going to take the opposite arm to the opposite toe every time. Challenge yourself. Don't just do 10 or 12 reps. Go for a minute. Go for it. You want to start 30 seconds? Do that. I would recommend trying to go for a full minute, if you can, for each of these moves to really blast out that core. Again, the core is a strong muscle group and it takes a lot to burn it out. So it's important that you keep going. Let's go to our next one. Rainbows. So with rainbows, this is really going to blast the lower abs. Ladies, I know we all have those that issue with the lower abs. So this is one way to do it. This is called a rainbow. So you're just going to start with your lower back onto the mat. You can be up here on your forearms, and I'm kind of in a tabletop position. All I'm going to do is I'm going to tap each side and keep going. And again, I would push. You want to try for 30 seconds if you're just starting? Awesome. But push for a minute, guys. You've got this. Keep going. Don't forget to breathe. And that's a rainbow. All right, let's get to our last one. So the last thing you want to do is you want to make sure you get a nice stretch. We worked a lot of things. There's a couple different things you guys can do. As far as the arms go, put that over there. Lots of things. First things first, stretch this way. Make sure that your shoulder is away from your ear, and you're going to stretch down, breathe in, breathe out. Maybe 20 seconds each side. And we work those triceps, so you want to go ahead and make sure you're doing a tricep stretch. Stand back so you can see a little bit better. Do both sides. Now you might feel some tension, obviously. We work the chest and the back. So clasp behind you, pull down. Shoulders away from your ears, back behind you. Just feel the stretch and make sure you guys are taking some nice deep breaths. Make sure you guys are drinking that water. And then you can do this and push forward. That's going to help the upper back. You can also kind of twist your feet this way. You can bend, do some, your obliques worked quite a bit with those ab workouts. Do a nice stretch. Same thing other side. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stretch, cool down, warm up. That was my upper body blast. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm planning on doing more workouts each week, loading something different, new, maybe some HIIT workouts next week. We'll see what I've got planned. Make sure you guys are subscribing. If you guys have anything you want me to do, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know that as well. I hope you guys are having a great day. Don't forget to hydrate and drink your water. That's very important. And most of all, make sure that your nutrition is on track, because you guys can be doing all this work, but if you're not making sure your nutrition is on track, the results will not come. If you need help with that, I can help you with that as well. Feel free to send me a message. I hope you guys are having a great day and happy working out.